shift the way you lead, the way you live. Clarity, courage, change. Because your next level won't wait. This is Monday MindShift, the clarity you've been craving, the shift you didn't know you needed. Hello. Good morning and welcome to Monday MindShift. I see I need to adjust my camera a bit because things were different on my show than they are on Leslie's show. Get things set up here, give people a moment to come over because I know Leslie's wrapping up and I'm just launching, nothing like last minute swap over, etc. But I also know that a lot of people are watching by replay. However you are here, live or replay, know you are appreciated. I love being here, sharing ideas, and I really love the conversations we get to have in the comments or afterwards. Those that are willing to come on stage, share their thoughts, ask their questions, those are always welcome. That was my vision when I first launched Monday MindShift, was not the Sean show. Now, Lincoln is being very glitchy today. Does not. Sue, welcome. I see you over there on YouTube, and I see Melanie over here on LinkedIn. Trying to pull this up on my LinkedIn so that I can. Okay. I'm not sure what's going on for my LinkedIn. I cannot seem to open it on my phone, which is where I usually monitor comments and everything like that. So let's try this again. Sharon, welcome. Glad to have you here. Hope all is well over there in Arizona. I know Melanie's up in New York. I think they're getting some warmer weather finally. And Sue is over in the UK. Had to think about that for a minute. Okay, so LinkedIn is acting really, as my son would say, cat. I open it and I can't even see my own posts. Very, very strange. Could be a network issue. I don't know. Because I haven't got any notifications. Like, I can see my profile page, and there it's working on computer, so it's a phone glitch. Don't know. Good morning, Kimberly. Welcome. Okay, everybody seems to be getting in. LinkedIn seems to be having some trouble. Like, it loads some things and then it fails on other things. I'm not sure what's going on. As I said, I don't have any messages from LinkedIn saying, hey, we shut down your account or anything like that. Because I know that's a real challenge, isn't it? Is that we're on LinkedIn, we're on Facebook, we're on all of these platforms, and it's somebody else's house. And if we break the rules, or if we are perceived to have broken the rules, we can lose our access. And I've heard many stories, but I think this is just something else. I don't know what kind of glitch it is, because there it is. It's working now. So I don't know. Like, normally Christy's name shows up here, but today it isn't. I'm getting LinkedIn user on Restream, but I see her in the comments on the phone, which is why I use the phone. Leslie, welcome. Glad to have you here. I know that was a big stretch for you, like not just for me, but for you, because I know you usually like to take a little break, Leslie, and grab a bite to eat or something before you drop into my show. Back-to-back shows, Felipe. It's the game, right? Bouncing from one show to the next. I know you've done it before too. All right. So we're in our third week of the Identity Under Pressure series, right? In episode 1, I looked at the gap between our success and self-concept. And last week, I talked about the identity question underneath the AI conversation. AI conversation is a big topic. It's a hot topic these days, right? Everybody's talking about AI, implementing more of it, cutting workforces because of it. Recent data I saw said that companies that are doing heavy AI implementation and cutting workforces a lot, they're not seeing any improvement in the bottom line. But last week on my show, we talked about that identity question underneath, because AI is just a tool. It only amplifies the nut behind the wheel, as we used to say with cars. Today, we're going to go inside. It's still about that pressure of your identity. But today I want to look at the person who often absorbs that pressure. The one who carries the load for almost everyone in the room. I know you know who I'm talking about. You might even be that person. But let me start with a question. Think about the last time someone asked, "How are you doing?" And you told them the absolute, unedited, raw truth. What was your reality of your experience in that moment? Go ahead, if you're willing, drop your answer in the comments. If you want to stay anonymous, you can send me a DM and I can share it with everybody anonymously. So go ahead and drop those. Think about that last time someone asked you how you're doing and you were honest with it. Honest with them, honest with yourself. You see, some of you became the calm one. I know, because I did it. I lived it. I was the person who refused to panic. I read every room the moment I entered it. Right? The problems hadn't even begun to exhibit, but I was reading the room and adapting. And people turn to you in the instability. As I shared on Leslie's show, it's a skill that we develop on purpose based on an earlier situation. It served us in that moment. We needed it to survive that moment. Maybe it was a season of your life, some family dynamic. But your composure is what kept everything from falling apart. And you got really, really good at it. And you kept doing it. Right? Leslie talks about this. Repetition, repetition, repetition. But here's the rub. That skill becomes a role that we lock into. And that role hardens into an identity. And that identity has a hidden cost. Welcome, Carrie, I see you there. Welcome. And Kimberly, that's powerful. Yes. And it's lovely, Christy, isn't it, to have someone that you feel safe enough to open up to that, right? We don't walk up to the boss or a coworker that we don't trust and reveal, because the survival part of us says, no, 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 don't do that. But the truth about being the calm one, as I said, we become this person because our own needs, they're too heavy, they're too expensive. We feel like they're not important. They felt like a bill we could never call due. Someone recently described this. Called it spiritual bypassing. Holding a room together while inside, underneath, all that composure and that holding it all together and staying calm under pressure, that person's real feelings, needs, and experience are unaddressed, right? Nobody panics when that person's around. And nobody checks on that person either. Maybe you've felt this. Maybe you've lived it. All right, so let's see. What do I got? Yeah, algorithm, cache, the big wide world web has to stay connected, and sometimes things don't connect. Thank you for exactly. I've been typing a comment to your show, Felipe, and it cuts on me. Or, as you said, someone is sharing something profound, and you lose it. It freezes. Thank goodness for replays. And I absolutely agree with Kimberly. It's much deeper than what is commonly talked about. Ashif, glad to have you here. Glad it's landing for you. My whole goal was Monday is a day that most people dread in the world. I wanted to make it a ray of hope on Mondays. Like, let's shift our mind and start the week on a better foot. And Sharon's exactly right. Letting go of SMEs or subject matter experts, because, hey, AI will do it. And that's the biggest threat, right? These people who they say all the white collar work is the biggest threat in the AI world. Melanie, absolutely right. There is an advantage. There's a benefit. It serves to be the calm one. When everybody else is freaking out, we all are going to turn to the one who can stay calm. And my military training taught me to hold that calm more, but it never taught me how to handle what was going on inside me. It just taught me to put the game face on, stay calm, make decisions like that to keep moving forward, to stay alive. That skill still serves me, but it doesn't drive the bus today. All right. So this is the point, and I think I'm way ahead of schedule, but that's okay. I'm a little off today. 2 shows back to back. I'm doing it, but hey, it does take a toll. So this is where I want to do our 2-chair exercise. Somebody pointed it out like this is nothing new. No, it's not. I would say none of it's new. We're just looking at it with a different set of eyes, from a different perspective, a different way of exploring things that work. If you're new here, just stay with me and follow along. If you're not new here, I know that you know how this goes. So either imagine 2 chairs, or if it works better for you, set 2 chairs up facing each other. In the first chair is that calm one, right? That version of you who stays calm no matter what's happening outside. It's a version that you built to get through a hard season in life, some form of chaos. As I said before, it's the version that reads the room in seconds, right? They can enter and they got a whole picture, like, okay, watch out for that. Like they're counting the cost. That version is also the one who is able to de-escalate conflict. Other people lean on that version when things go sideways, when it's chaos. Melanie perfectly demonstrating how when everybody is falling apart, we turn to the one that seems to be holding it together. And thank you for that clarification, Kimberly. When you said it was deeper than that, I thought was the topic, not the issue. And right, new isn't always better. True, Sharon. The one that cracks me up, though, Sharon, is new and improved. Is it new or is it improved? It can't be both. Emotional regulation, Kimberly, that is so true. So true. So that version that holds everything together, reads the room, de-escalates the conflict, helps people feel a path out of the chaotic situation. Oftentimes, that version is exhausted of always being, I was always the one de-escalating, and it was exhausting. My wife shared it with me. We were living in New Mexico, and all these women were reaching out to her for support. And she said it. She's like, I need support too. Where's my woman I get to reach out to? So there's a lot of value in having that calmness, that holding things together. But even that version of you needs someone to reach out to. In the second chair, it's a different version. It's able to receive that support. It doesn't need to demonstrate or perform the face of strength, like, I got this, don't worry, I'm here to save the day. They can accept support, like, hey, this is hard. You got my back? Great. That person can admit that they're struggling, that it's finding it challenging without falling apart, without worrying about losing reputation. But right here, I want you to sit with a simple question. Remembering this, the calm one, objectively strong, holding it together, composed, no matter what. But I want to look at something else. The question is, which chair do you know how to sit in? Sharon's exactly right. Hypervigilance is dysregulation. It's no easier way to explain that. But as I said, which chair do you know how to sit in? For some of you, chair 2 carries a massive risk. You want to sit in the chair, but you're like, I don't know if I can. It's really risky. I don't know if I can handle that. There's a lot of uncertainty. That hesitation is something that's worth exploring, that's looking deeper. Feel free to write something in the comments to answer this. Which version of you shows up when the room needs steadiness? And is that a conscious choice? Or is it the only move you know how to make? Because I know for a long, long time, it was the only move I knew how to make. So let me reframe this to bring it deeper. That capacity to hold it together, to stay calm, it's extremely valuable. It's not the problem. The issue is when that calmness becomes required, becomes compulsory. When the rooms that you're in expect that composure and that you will automatically deliver it. Like, just lean on Sharon. She's the strong one. She always holds it together. Sorry, Sharon, I'm picking on you a little bit. Just easy name to but call Sean. My church did this. My wife and I were volunteering for everything for all the wrong reasons. Nobody else was showing up. They started saying, just call Sean and his wife. They always show up. Whatever you need to sort clothes donations, call them. You need to clean up from the big banquet table thing, whatever, call them. They'll stick around and finish it. The problem is when your internal reality no longer matters to you or to anyone else. Everything you do becomes a performance, but there's no intermission, right? Any long performance, there's always an intermission, not just for the performers, but for the audience, right? They always take an intermission in the middle when it's a long performance. Yes, they are survival skills, Kimberly. The challenge is when those survival skills turn into a survival identity that is the main operating system. when we're constantly performing, doing, reading the room, holding composure, staying calm, etc., those performances, everybody out there is loving it, but those performances start to turn inward on ourselves. And you start believing that that composure is absolute truth. And your internal reality gets quieter and quieter and quieter till you don't even hear it. Till it's gone. It disappears to your vision. Until one day, it's demanding your attention. Let me speak directly to anyone who's recognizing this pattern. You might know something's happening underneath the surface. The surface is calm, but you know there's turbulence underneath. I want you to hear this very clearly. That is not a character flaw. It's exactly how identity works. If you think the walls are keeping you safe, you are never going to pull them down. The calm identity earns credibility, massive credibility. So, of course, we're going to hold on to it very, very tightly. The work is learning that you have access to other choices. You have other moves. There's a concept that I've been noodling, and that is being bilingual in your own life. And I don't mean like Spanish, English, like I am or whatever. You stay fluent in your old version and you're just learning the language of your needs, of even having the needs. That gap, that transition, that's the field for transformation. All right, I want to go look at comments. Lisa's here. As Kimberly said, emotionally regulated, but emotionally regulated doesn't necessarily mean always calm. Sharon's comment, it's a sign of dysregulation. Ashif with his wisdom, one-man army syndrome, not sustainable, not. And as Kimberly said, it's survival identity, it's survival skills, straight up, no doubt. Sharon, I honor your vulnerability. Beautifully said, Sharon. Radical discernment. That's the magic, right? Yeah. It's conditioned narrative, right? We learned it. We weren't born with it. Definitely. It's one of the things that can very easily lead to burnout. Yeah, absolutely, Sharon. Growth hurts. Right? There's some truth to the old saying, no pain, no gain. I saw this at a bakery, a French bakery here in Guatemala. Go figure. No pain, because PAIN is bread in French. It said no pain, no gain. And I immediately caught the thing. Yeah, when the storm is brewing inside, it's time to change the sails. Holding our open posture towards growth. Yes. And to approach it with curiosity. When I'm feeling that, what is the underlying message? So I asked earlier about the last time you told someone how you really were, what was really happening. Let me go a level deeper. When is the last time you asked yourself? When did you actually stop and let the answer be true? The real reality. And one final question before I open the floor. What would it really cost if you just let someone hold you for once? I beg you, don't ignore that question. Don't let yourself off the hook. Answer it privately. I don't need your answer. You don't need to share your answer in the chat. It's an important question to ask yourself, right? When is the last time I asked myself how I'm really doing? And did I stop and let that be real? So I offer the identity clarity call, a single conversation where we can look at what you've built and who you believe you have to be. And then we look for the gap. Because that's where I work, is in that gap. Someone here, live or replay, has been showing up week after week, perhaps sitting with questions alone. That invitation's for you. So now I want to open the floor. If you want to share something, if you want to ask questions, something really just was a mic drop for you today, drop it in the comment or join the stage. You don't need to be on camera. You can be audio only. But you have the link. And I also want to drop the link for the clarity call. It's getidentitydriven.com/clarity. Nice and easy. Getidentitydriven.com/clarity. No cost, no obligation. Let's have a talk. Let's look at where you are, where you've been living, where you want to be, where you feel you want to get to. Maybe you're already moving into it, but there's a gap. We will find that gap. While I'm waiting to see if anybody else joins, if anybody wants to join the stage, I have a question for you. What does it feel like in your body when someone demands your calm? What does it feel like in your body when someone demands your calm? And where did you learn that steadiness was more valuable than honesty? All right, I want to address Sharon's question. All of it, Sharon. We are holistic beings. You've talked about chakras, right? When our chakras are in balance, we are in balance. So we can look at chakras, we can look at emotional, mental, physical, spiritual. We're aiming for, big fancy word, right? Homeostasis. When we're not there is when we have physical sensations, we have the negative thoughts. And we often are trying to demonstrate that with our calm. Like, look at me, I'm all in homeostasis. I'm good. I don't need anything. When are you going to stop lying to yourself? You're a human being. You have needs. I have needs. Calm is good, but not at the expense of everything else. Get honest with yourself when you're not in homeostasis in one of those. And the beautiful thing is that I've learned is, like I shared on Leslie's show, when you feel like you're holding all the walls up, including the ceiling, perhaps the best thing is to just let it go. Surrender it. Release. Reach out, right, to someone who can hold you when you need holding, who can support you, can help you meet a need. So that's beautiful. I'm glad you're finding the resources you need. I will say, for my part, I was trying to hold you so you could make the change yourself. Because one thing I've learned in life, it's like the serenity prayer. That the serenity prayer, the original serenity prayer, says, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. The alternate version I learned is, God grant me the serenity to change the people I can. Or no, sorry. God grant me the serenity to accept the people I cannot change, and the courage to change the people I can, and the wisdom to know that the only one I can change is me. It's the guy looking back at me in this camera shot or the mirror. I can't change another. I struggled for years with the prime male directive, husband directive, right? Make her happy. And when your wife is not happy, it drives us nuts as husbands. It's innate, it's built in. But when I learned there's nothing I can do to make her happy, can I create an environment that breeds happiness? Absolutely. But that's where I learned to, like, there's my limit. Like, I can do this. I can help with the dishes. I can take care of the kid, give her a break. But I cannot make another person feel anything. I cannot make them change. I can't make them update their identity. What I can do is hold up a mirror. I can hold the mirror. I can share what I've learned. And you can test it. If it works for you, excellent. If it doesn't, try something else. Right? 8 to 9 billion of us. We have a lot of things in common. But we also have separation. We have uniqueness. What works for this person doesn't work for that person. Find what works for you and move from that. Calm is absolutely contextual. And what I hear in that, Sharon, is that's a move from calm is a choice, not a requirement. I can choose the time and space to hold the calm. And as you said it beautifully, Sharon, I can set it off. Anyway, looks like I'm solo today. Thank you, everyone, for being here, for your comments, your questions. Love and appreciation to you. Remember this: stop performing and start becoming. With strength and heart, I'm Sean Michael. Have a great one.
In the shadow of a mirror, where the past holds tight, he walks in with fire, igniting the night. A truth seeker's vision, he shines through the black. With every step forward, he won't look back, telling tales of struggle. The masks we wear, we're bound by the labels, lost in the snare. Time to break free from those chains of doubt. With his voice like thunder, he calls us out. This is the awakening. The rebels arise. Feel the storm within you. It's time to defy. We're breaking the silence, tearing the walls. With the identity disruptor, we answer the call. No more hiding in shadows. We step into